This is the first in a series of videos to help you navigate Teachscape Reflect, which is the online evaluation system. And probably the best way to do this is to, when you've logged into the login page on a computer, a desktop or laptop, it might help to have a secondary device that allows you to actually watch this video. Because you can go back and forth, and what you watch you can actually then do, just as we are doing it for you. A third thing to have is maybe a copy of the domains and the components. The more literate all of us are with those domains and components, the easier this process really is. So let's get started, and our first step obviously is to log in, and Bob sent an email that gives you those login procedures, so follow those steps, and once you've got your username and password, go ahead and enter those now. I'm just going to log in using a generic one for the purposes of this demonstration. And the first page that's going to come up is going to give you a choice in two different places. First is in the upper left. You can either choose Teachscape Reflect or Teachscape Learn. Those same choices are down here. We're going to choose, you can choose either one, but we're going to choose Teachscape Reflect, and that is the online evaluation system. And the first thing that you're going to see here is the formal observation, informal observation, and summative. We're going to start with entering information for domain 4, and that's under obviously the formal evaluation. And this list appears here. They call it a task list, and the fourth item down is domain 4 assessment. And if you scroll over to the middle of the page, you'll see that there's an edit button, and really that edit button means enter. So when you're at the point where you're ready to start, really at any time, once your evaluator initiates you to begin entering evidence there, hit that edit button, and what comes up is a page that has your name, the practitioner, the title of what this is. Ignore this observation date. That's just when this was initiated. It's not an observation as we would commonly use that word. And over on the right hand side we've got the frameworks components 4B through 4E. So let's say you want to start entering evidence and information into domain 4. You go down into the lower right and hit view notes, and let's say you're just going to say, and I'm really abbreviating here, you certainly would put more information here, but Edline online calendar updated weekly for parents with homework and assignments. Okay, so you can either hit return or hit the add button. When you do that, in the middle of the page you see that that's been updated a little bit, and there's actually a previous piece of evidence there, kind of the same thing here. So each thing that you enter continues to add evidence right below here, and once you've added that evidence, the next step is to go ahead and tag it with a component. And you do that on the right hand side, right under this little checklist here, where there's a 0 there now, but we're going to turn that into a 1. We'll just call this, for convenience sake, communicating with families. Now you can add additional components. They're checkboxes. You can add up to all of them if something were to fit that description. You hit OK, and what you've done now is you've tagged a piece of evidence with a component in the system. Now, you can add this information at any time during sort of the evaluation window. It's open for your input for an extended period of time. The one thing you don't want to do in this page is hit the button score. Just don't do it. It doesn't self-destruct, but it basically is something you should really not ever have to hit. What you do want to do is save and finish later. You can always go back almost on a repeated basis, so back to this task list page. If you ever were to hit edit, it'll take you back to, again, this generic landing page. You say view notes, and this is where you would enter information there. You can see that the previous entries have been saved. They've been tagged with different components, so once you add additional information, it'll appear in this space here, and you'll save and finish for later. And that is how you begin to enter domain 4 evidence.